Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good afternoon, good evening is whenever you see this live. This you got Ray coming to you live all the way from here. We're here right here. Welcome to Ray's Corner Live. Hey, I'm coming. Let me get right with it. Let me get this housekeeping out the way real quick. I want to get a big shout out to our sponsors, Sophisticated Soul Journey Travel Agency and Golden Goose Productions. Listen, if you want an event done, if you want to see a comedy show, you want some jazz, you want some good food, Golden Goose Production is the one for you. Sophisticated Soul Journeys, wherever you want to go in the world. Hey, got the best travel agency out there. Get the best discounts. Go to our page and sign up and become a guest, and we will give you the best adventures. Where sophistication meets exploration. Hey, you got right. Listen, I'm gonna get right with it, man. I want to get right when to talk to my men right now. Um, a man of purpose and power. You are a man of purpose and power. I'm here to let you know that right now. You are a man of purpose and power. Just got my new hook up here. Got my mixer in. Got this, got that, got my lights, got my new microphone. Get ready to kick off Ray's Corner Live and Exodus Life Change on our YouTube channels, lining up on my speakers. But I want to continue to get into this flow of man of purpose and power. Because you got to understand, write this down. Where purpose is unknown, abuse is inevitable. I'm going to say it again. Where purpose is unknown, abuse is inevitable. Proverbs 14 and 12 says this: there is a way that appears to be right, but in the end it leads to death. Understanding you have a purpose and plan for your life. God has a purpose and plan for your life. I understand that I really, until I came into the purpose and plan for my life, man, I was living, talking about death, drugs, homelessness. I was a walking dead. I was a walking dead. Abuse, it says, where purpose is unknown, abuse is inevitable. I was abusing myself, abusing others, the whole 9 yards. So let me share with you real quick this morning that I'm going to expound on some things. Where purpose is unknown, abuse is inevitable. Like I said, Proverbs 14:12 says, there is a way that appears to be right, but in the end, it leads to death. And I'm telling you, I was like a zombie is like in Kinston in Philadelphia. There's a section called Kensington. Man, it's like The Walking Dead. That's what I was, like The Walking Dead, serving no purpose, didn't understand my purpose. So let me share something with you real quick. Gonna expound, gonna make this thing happen, brother. This is for my sisters too, but Ray's Corner Live, Exodus Life Change, right? Is for me when I was on that second floor fire escape. So I can give you a backdrop of Exodus Life Change. On that second floor fire escape with that 357, get ready to blow my brains out. Jesus Christ came and saved me, right? I said, if you get me out of this, I will not make people feel. I didn't say I wouldn't do this. I said make people feel the way I felt because listen, I was hopeless. The feeling, all that stuff I went through, it was like crazy. And he gave me the scripture. After you are converted, go back and strengthen your brothers. Brothers, men were just like me. But it can apply for some of you ladies who've been out there, was on them streets, man, and things was going crazy. I understand we all went through some trauma, but I'm here to tell you your trauma was your training. We're able to do what you do now. That was my training ground to be able to do what I do now. See, I had to understand you cannot move away from God and be truly successful. So you cannot cut off your relationship with the manufacturer and expect to find genuine parts somewhere else. God created us. He's the manufacturer. He's the one with the instructions, right? He's the one that can, with the replacement parts when things go bad. See, he's the one, when you ignore the warranty, any part of you try to find, any part you try to find on your own will not be genuine. When you try to fix yourself, when I tried to fix myself, tried to fix myself with more drugs. I tried to fix myself with women. I tried to fix myself with money. I tried to fix myself with jobs. I tried to fix myself with everything but God. See, you on your own, right? You cannot develop into a better product without the help of the manufacturer. I kept trying to be all I could be in my own strength. I kept trying to be all I can be based on the world system. I kept trying to be all I could be based on what you said I needed to do and how I needed to do certain things. None of this was, listen, you can't, listen, none of this was based on the manufacturer who was God. There was nothing, right? There was no part that I tried to put in my body. There was no drugs. There was no this nor that came from the manufacturer. My body was under warranty with God, and He had the correct parts to correct me. See, if we think, you and I, if we think we can find out how to be a better person with God, we are in trouble. And I found that out the hard way for 20 years. Homeless, prison, county jail, bandit building. When I had to come to the reality, we have to come to reality that when we believe that we can't do it without God, when we believe that we don't need God, when we believe, when we come to reality that we need God, but when we keep understanding that we don't need God, watch this, it gets worse and worse. It gets better when I came to the conclusion, I came to the reality that I need God. But as long as I thought I didn't need God, I could do it on my own. It got worse and worse. Listen, I mean, when I first started getting high, it was fun. It was a whole lot of fun. It was pleasure. It was this and that. It was sociable. And as time progressed, every time I tried to get better, I got worse. Every time I tried to stop using, I tried to do it on my own. I got worse and worse and worse and worse. And we got to ask ourselves, think about it. How many of us have suffered the consequences of trying to do it on our own? Trying to make it happen from every vice but God. Proverbs 19:21 says this, many are the plans in a person's heart, but it's the Lord's purpose that prevails. It is the purpose and plan that God has for our life that will prevail over all the obstacles, over all the issues, over all the situations, over the anxiety, over the depression, over the trauma. Once we get in purpose, once I understood my purpose, listen, I'm under no illusion why I was created. We have to get to that point where we know exactly what we was created for. I was created to go through the things that I had to go through to be able to go back and strengthen my brothers. To go through all those 20 years of this and that and trauma and all that, to feel every feeling from working on in Fortune 500 companies, to be on the park bench, to be in the penthouse, to the park bench, to understand all those feelings, to be able to sit in front of you and say, no, I know exactly how you feel. See, I had a lot of plans. How many of y'all had plans? I mean, I had a 5-year plan with my girlfriend. I had this plan. I had all these plans. I had these plans how I was going to make this money. I had these plans how I was going to do this. We have plans, but God has a purpose. And the reality is my plans wasn't in harmony with God's purpose. See, I had opinions and precepts. See, watch this. I think it is appropriate to include the concept of opinions and precepts in the word plans. My plans are my opinions. My plans are how I look at things, how I think things should go, how I should do these. That's the definition of plans in my life. See, I have many opinions. I had many precepts. I had all these things, right, regarding what things should be like and what they are for. But God has a purpose. I think you should act this way. I think you should say this. I think I should do it like this. I think I should do this. I had a plan to do this. But God has a purpose for everything that he made. And he made you and me. So here's the reality. What you think the purpose of something is, what its purpose actually it could be something different. See, what I thought my purpose was, what I thought my plan was for my life, right, wasn't the purpose for my life. See, I could have plans if it's keeping with God's purpose. But the problem was I had all these plans and it wasn't in line with God's purpose. So for those 20 years where I kept trying to insert my plans in my life, right, I was getting further and further away from the purpose and plans that God had for me. And what happens is not only did I started inflicting pain on myself, not only did I start abusing myself, I then started abusing others, relationships, family, friends, children. Because where purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. If you don't know the purpose of something, all you will do will abuse it. If you don't know the purpose why that woman is in your life, all you're going to do is abuse it. If you don't know the purpose of why that job is in your life, only thing you're going to do is abuse it. If you don't know why, whatever is in your life, if you don't know the purpose of it, we ain't going to do nothing but abuse it. No matter how sincere or committed or serious, innocent we are, we're going to abuse it. So I'm going to leave you with this. If you don't want to live in God's purpose for mankind, then you will end up doing yourself harm in some way. God has created us with gifts and talents that are intended to be used to fulfill his purpose for our life. Those talents, I had some skills and I had some talents, and I was trying to take those skills and talents and use it on the streets. I didn't know how to use the gifts. I didn't know how to use the talents. In high school, I didn't know how to use the gifts. I didn't know how to use the talents. In college, I didn't know how to use the gifts. I didn't know how to use the talents. In my relationships, I didn't know how to use the gifts. I didn't know how to use the talent. And what happened was I was using those gifts and talents against myself. I was using those gifts and talents against you. So remember that God did not venture out into the manufacturing business hoping he could create something that would work. He started out with an original plan, with an original design. He already had it in mind. He already had the finished product, which is you and me. He already had our intended purpose before we got here. And he is the only one who knows how humanity is intended to be successful. So it's time for us to go back to the manufacturer. It's time to go back to his instructions. For me, it's the Bible. You get the instructions in the Bible, but he will show us through people. He will reveal our purpose through people sometimes, through his word. If you're tired of abusing yourself, if you're tired of abusing others, it's okay to have plans, but your plans must be in line with God's purpose. Because God has purpose and we have plans. So it's time to get in God's purpose, and then we can associate our plan, which is his plan for our purpose in life, and move forward from where we are now. Hey, this your guy Ray coming to you live all the way from here. We're here right here. And like we always say here at Ray's Corner Live, God loves you and I love you. And guess what? Ain't nothing you can do about it. Peace out. Holla.